Hi, I'm Craig Case, host of Wine Country, and today we're delighted to be with Katie Grassini. We appreciate you inviting us into the Grassini wine tasting room. This is beautiful.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. We're so happy to have you here and show off our new little neighborhood.
Yes, this is a terrific addition to the El Paseo.
Thank you.
So you're in the El Paseo complex and part of the Presidio neighborhood.
Yep.
And that makes it special.
Yeah, the Presidio neighborhood is just a beautiful little slice of Santa Barbara, and it's the historic heart of our little town here, and it's kind of having this resurgence lately. People are starting to realize again just how beautiful it is and how different it is. It's, you've got these beautiful little paseos out here that you can walk around, smell the orange trees blossoming, have a little glass of wine, go enjoy some shopping from these beautiful locally owned shops, enjoy some food from locally owned restaurants. It's really a special place. And get a picture of the history of the town too.
Yes, very impressive. So tell us a little bit about the Grassini Vineyards and wine operations.
Sure. So Grassini Family Vineyards, we're a small production here in Santa Barbara. Our vineyard and winery is up in Santa Ynez in the Happy Canyon AVA, which is an AVA. It's one of the smallest and one of the newer ones in Santa Barbara County. It's over on the eastern side of the county, which basically means that it's a very different animal from the rest of the more beachside areas. So we don't get the maritime influence as much. The fog burns off very early in the day, so we have these long, bright days, which means that we're able to grow some really great Bordeaux varietals, which is a unique thing in Santa Barbara.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what we focus on.
So when did the family start?
My parents actually bought the land back in the 80s sometimes. That was a 1,000-acre thoroughbred breeding ranch that had been up there, and they broke it down into these 100-acre parcels. And I'm the oldest of 4 girls, and my parents thought, we're going to have 4 female teenagers here pretty quick. We better get 100 acres, spread them all out. They won't be arguing over blow dryers. And so that was sort of, we just thought, we'll get this land and we'll figure out what we're going to do with it down the road. Initially, my parents had thought about maybe raising horses because I was into riding horses. Then my dad had a crash on a horse, and my mom found out she was allergic to alfalfa hay. So that was the end of that.
Puts a damper on it, doesn't it?
Right, yeah, it kind of does. But it's one of those things when God shuts a door, he opens a window, and they kind of started looking around at different opportunities. And during that time, they noticed that the wine industry was really coming up and evolving, and there was a lot of exciting things happening. So they called out some folks to just sort of see what they thought of the land and what was going on out there, and were very surprised when they turned around and said, this is the perfect spot for Bordeaux. And they were just starting to figure out how different Happy Canyon was. So around 2002, my parents started planting the vineyard. In 2010, we finished the construction on the winery, and that's really when we kind of people started to hear about us a little bit more. We'd been selling grapes for a while, but we started selling our own wines with the Grassini Family Vineyards name on it in 2010, 2011. So yeah, started with our 2007 vintage. 2006 was the first year that we got any grapes from the vines, but it was the very first time they'd ever produced, so it wasn't anything we wanted to sell. So we just made some wine for my grandmother's birthday.
Oh,
so it was just family wine that went out in 2006, and then 2007 we really got started.
Did she approve?
She loved it.
Okay,
absolutely. Well. I mean, she was Irish, so she was definitely more of a Heineken lady than a wine lady, but she definitely approved.
Well, good.
So, yeah.
She acquired the taste.
Yes, definitely.
Well, good. So now you're the CEO of Grassini.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's my title. Like my dad says I should call myself the CEO. I say I'm, the oldest daughter. Just sort of do a little bit of everything. But yeah, it's my baby, and I love it. It's just been an absolute blast.
Well, you've done a great job of I've had your wine.
Thank you.
And I've enjoyed it very much.
Thanks very much.
So Katie, what's your favorite aspect of growing and making wine?
Oh my gosh. My favorite aspect is, just of the wine industry in general, is the people that you get to work with, the people that you get to meet. It's from just all aspects of life, and everyone's really interesting in their own different ways. I think from meeting the vineyard crew and seeing what they go through every day in their lives and how hard they work, and they're really the lifeblood of this vineyard and this winery and the finished product, all the way through the winemakers that are out there making something so special and showing off the best that Santa Barbara has to offer, to the restaurants and hoteliers in town that are showing off our town, and then also the end consumers. That's been one of the great things about this new tasting room. We're getting more people through the door and just meeting people from all over the country and all over the world, that we're able to show them how special Santa Barbara is through the food and the wine. And I think that's just such a special way to explore. So for me, that's what really makes me excited about the industry, is just all these different folks that you get to meet all the time.
Well, why don't we go up to Happy Canyon and view your beautiful vineyard up there?
Sounds like a good plan.
That'll be fun. We'll be right back. At Ablett's Fine Cleaners, we keep you looking good while making your life easier. The Ablett's family has been in the dry cleaning business for over 100 years and offers services customized to meet your desires, including pickup and delivery, because we know your time is valuable. Download our mobile app to receive a quote, schedule services, or check on the status of your order. Join our executive club for fast transactions and loyalty rewards. Ablett's Fine Cleaners, where you matter most. CPAs are known for doing things by the numbers, but Walpole & Company goes beyond the numbers, building strong, enduring relationships and providing consistent, sound judgment and advice, wealth management services, and accounting software consulting. Because Walpole is deeply committed to the success of every client. It's the Walpole way. Extraordinary service from a truly extraordinary organization. Walpole & Company CPAs, service beyond the numbers. In a valley rich with history, there stands a restaurant where history is made every night. From the never-ceasing oak pit to the bar that made a film iconic, the Hitching Post 2 features a style of cooking that goes back to the days of the Spanish rancheros with a contemporary flair. Paired with a glass of Hartley Ostini Hitching Post wine, a meal here is a meal that is never forgotten. The Hitching Post 2 in Buellton, California. Come make your own history.
Construction is underway for the Arlington Village Apartments complex, adjacent to the historic Arlington Theater. Hello, I'm Earl Armstrong. Armstrong Associates is proud to add the construction of the Arlington Village Apartments complex to our award-winning portfolio of community assets. And we invite you to learn more about why we were recently ranked in the top 5 general contractors in the Tri-County area and one of the 20 fastest growing companies on the Central Coast.
Well, welcome back. We're here at the beautiful Grassini Family Vineyards with Katie. As promised, we came up here to look at the vineyards and see where all this fine grape juice is produced. And so why don't we go out in the vineyard and meet your winemaker, Bradley?
Perfect. Sounds great. We're glad to have you here.
Good. Let's do it. Well, here we are in the vineyard, and we're joined by the winemaker, Bradley. Welcome, Bradley.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about where we're standing.
So we're out here at Grassini Family Vineyards in Happy Canyon, Santa Barbara. We primarily grow Bordeaux varietals out here, Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Petit Verdot, Merlot, and Sauvignon Blanc, which is what we're standing in front of right now. We grow these varietals out here because they're fairly heat-tolerant varietals, and it tends to be quite warm out here. Santa Barbara is arguably one of the most diverse growing regions in the world, we're able to grow Pinot Noir and Chardonnay out on the west side, and these really robust red varietals like Cabernet Sauvignon out here on the east side. So that's why we grow what we grow out here.
Happy Canyon happens to be one of the warmer appellations.
It is.
Yeah, that's
It
good.
is.
Yeah, produce some great wines here.
Yeah,
We do.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We don't get as much of the maritime influence out here. You know, we get the fog, but it tends to kind of roll out a little bit earlier, and Brad could probably tell you a little bit more about that. But.
Yeah, so it's out west of here, fog tends to stick around for sometimes most of the day until 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Out here, if we do get fog, it usually burns off about by 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. So we tend to have much longer, warmer days out here.
How many acres do you have planted?
They're about 35 acres planted. The Grassinis have 104 acres total on this parcel of land.
And so Sauvignon Blanc,
Sauvignon Blanc.
and I noticed you've got some hilltop.
We do, and those are some of our most special blocks on the property. We grow Cabernet Sauvignon up there in a very high density, so much tighter than what we're looking at out here. We rely on radiating sunlight off the ground to evenly mature the fruit, and those vineyard blocks just shine, and usually are the backbone of our reserve Cabernet Sauvignon.
Great, great.
Yeah, they're planted so close up there, you know, there's only about 3 feet between each row, which is, you know, if you look at shoulders, that's about barely enough space for one person to walk through. So
Right.
you can get an idea for just how tight everything is up there. Everything has to be tended by hand and just really, you know, it takes a lot of extra care up there. So we tend to get some really special grapes
We do,
from that area.
absolutely.
Great. So Bradley, tell us about your background as a winemaker.
Absolutely. So I came out to California a number of years ago, started working up in Napa Valley at Cakebread Cellars, moved around a little bit up there and ended up working at a spot called Fantesca for quite a while, learning under some really spectacular winemakers. Again, arguably some of the best winemakers in the world to be mentored by. I went out to Australia for a period of time to make some wine out there, and then came back and joined up with the Grassinis.
Oh, good. So how long have you been here then?
I've been here for about 4 years at this point.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
We were really excited when we found Brad. You know, we were looking for someone that was excited about Cabernet Sauvignon and was looking for some new adventures. And, you know, when I talked to Brad, you could just see the passion in his eyes for Cabernet. And he was really excited, I think, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but to come down to Happy Canyon and see just what it was still a fairly new AVA, just to see what could be done here.
Yeah, it was thrilling actually to come here and just visually look at how beautiful the vineyard is and how well the vines were tended to, and then tasting through the wines. The potential is through the roof. Not to mention that there are only a few of us that make Cabernet down here, so that's extremely exciting as well to kind of help put Cabernet Sauvignon on the map for Santa Barbara County.
So it's such a beautiful day. Let's move around the vineyard a little bit and find out a little bit more about what you're doing here.
Absolutely.
The Tobes Group welcomes you home to your place for friends, for family, your place to relax, exercise. Discover the Tobes quality life, spacious living and amenities designed with you in mind. Move up to someplace more. You move up to Tobes. More than apartments, a lifestyle you can afford. From the Tobes Group to you, welcome home.
Shoulders on. Do you mind if I stay by your side? time goes by. Do you mind if I stay by your side, just looking at you while the time goes by?
Out here on the Central Coast, people do things differently. That's why, for over 40 years, Montecito Bank and Trust has never offered a one-size-fits-all loan or mortgage, because we're not a factory, we're a bank. So along with our highly skilled bankers and 24/7 digital banking from anywhere, we personalize all of our loan solutions. We don't believe anything should come out of a cookie cutter, unless you're making cookies. Montecito Bank and Trust. Behind every great community is a great bank.
Well, we're on the other side of the vineyard now. What is behind us here, Bradley?
So this is actually our very special Block 14 Sauvignon Blanc, and the majority of all the other grapes grown on this side of the vineyard are Cabernet Sauvignon. This block specifically is just went through bud break about a week and a half ago, and we do bottle this by itself as well. This is a very special block of Sauvignon that we try and showcase by itself.
Good. I notice there's netting around. Why don't you tell our viewers what that's all about?
Yeah, so these vines, all the new growth on them, the deer like to chew on every once in a while, and so the netting around the block is trying to just deter the deer from chewing on the vines.
There's no alcohol content in those, right?
There aren't.
We got to keep Bambi out of there.
That's right. Well, good. So what's the harvest look like this year?
Well, it's a little early to say at the moment. We'll wait for bud break to fully finish. Our next big stage of the growing year will be flowering, and that'll really determine what this coming vintage is going to look like. I anticipate it's going to be a very nice one.
Yeah.
Good.
The flowering stage is sort of the part where the winemakers and the vintners are the most nervous, I think.
It is. Yeah, because of rain or possible hail can knock the little flowers off, and every one of those flowers are a potential berry.
Right. Yeah. So how did the drought impact you up here?
It's been a little nerve-wracking for sure. I think we've done a lot in the winery and in the vineyard to do as much as we can to alleviate our use of water. One of the things that my parents did when they were designing the winery, which at the time I didn't really appreciate it, but now in hindsight I definitely do, is the amount of water reclamation that they put into the building itself. So as you're walking around, you'll notice these drains throughout the entire building, and the purpose of that is so that as we're constantly cleaning barrels and cleaning these big steel tanks, the water is running down into those drainage systems, and then we actually have a system to reclaim all that water, clean it up, and then it's reusable as irrigation water, which has really been helpful for us. So, and then I know they've done some things in the vineyard, and it's definitely had some effects out there as well.
Absolutely. The drought has been a little nerve-wracking at times. Just drying out the ground, the roots of the vines haven't been able to go to stay very close to the surface. When the ground dries out, it makes them much harder for the vines to go deep to find that water. Overall, these vines actually are extremely resilient. With just a little bit of weather, which we've had recently, they bounce right back, and they kind of adapt to their environments too. So these past few years of not much rain kind of goes into their memory bank for the next time that this will happen again.
Well, thank you, Bradley. I've enjoyed the experience with you out in the vineyards and appreciate it. We'll do more next week.
Absolutely,
Another episode.
this has been fun.
Yeah, it's been great. Katie, why don't we go back to the tasting room and sample some of these wines?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, let's go.
When you see the car, the uniform, the badge, when you see the name, you understand that the right people are there to keep you safe. Case Detective Agency provides unmatched security for any business, residents, or individuals. When security is important, call Case. Investigation, consultation, or uniformed security personnel. Case Detective Agency. Questions answered, assets protected.
Digging around. Digging the ground. I got my spade, I got my hoe, I got my rake, and I'm ready to go. Digging the ground. Feeling good in the ground. I got my spade, I got my hoe, I got my rake, and I'm ready to go.
Get your garden ready to go with everything you need, from great plants to advice from the experts at La Sumida.
Everyone wants to know about Carlisle's Salon and Style Bar, so here's the inside skinny. Carlisle is where old Hollywood, a time and place where glamour was inspiring, meets new, as in the new you with a new do. Carlisle is that rare find where service and style really mean something. Come in and peruse the menu of services and choose what's right for you, and voila! You walk out with a smile in your style. Carlisle's Salon and Style Bar, home of timeless appreciation.
If you're going to cowboy up, there's only one place to do it right. Right on down to Jedlicka's. We carry the best in name brand Western wear, and you're sure to find just what you're looking for. Family owned and operated since 1932. Everything for you and your horse. Get it all at Jedlicka's. Visit us in Santa Barbara and Los Olivos.
Well, we're back, and after talking about it so much, we're going to finally taste, right?
Right? Why not? This
So
is
what
the
are
fun
we
part.
what are we going to taste first?
Absolutely. So we're going to start out today with our Sauvignon Blanc. This is our Happy Canyon Sauvignon Blanc. We do the two different versions of Sauv Blanc. This is the one that is done more in a stainless steel, kind of the more traditional manner that people think of when they think of Sauv Blanc. It's beautiful. You know, while we were up at the vineyards, you saw the about 15 acres of Sauvignon Blanc that we have planted up there. So it's a really dynamic piece of land. We've got the two hillsides, one behind the winery and one across from the winery. And then we've got that beautiful kind of valley in the middle there that's just all filled with beautiful Sauvignon Blanc.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Yeah. So small production. We made about 1,100 cases of this wine. And it's just has some real beautiful tropical notes to it. I think you'll enjoy it.
I like the aromatics of that.
Thank you.
It is tasty. I like that.
Thank you.
So what would you pair with this?
This wine is, I mean, it's just such a great sipper of a wine, I think. I think it goes great on the patio, absolutely, with a bunch of good friends. I've also had it with, recently, some local restaurants have been pairing it with a lobster bisque that was just phenomenal. Really, just the acids in the wine just really brought out some really beautiful complexities in the bisque. I've also had it with like a lump crab cake that was really nice. So obviously any seafood, yeah. It's got some beautiful, like I said, tropical notes to it. A little bit more on the, like the melon and almost pineapple sort of scale. Not so much on the grassy side of the Sauvignon Blanc, which is very nice.
That's very nice.
Thank you.
So what kind of experience could the visitors expect to have coming to Grassini Tasting Room?
Perfect, absolutely. A wonderful experience right off the bat. As I said, we're right here in the heart of the Presidio neighborhood, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful part of Santa Barbara and the real cultural and historical center of the town. So they can wander right in off of State Street and be greeted, enjoy some wine. They can enjoy either a tasting flight, red or white or both. We have some reserve flights. We're also offering tasting flights that we pair with some really wonderful local foods as well. So we can do, we have cheese platters from Say Cheese, which is a wonderful spot that everybody knows here in town. And they're right in the heart of the Presidio neighborhood as well. And then we also offer some really wonderful chocolate pairings with Jessica Foster Chocolates. She's a wonderful local lady who's making amazing truffles. And so we pair, it's a challenge, obviously. We have to go through and taste the wines and pair them with the chocolate, but it's tough job, but somebody's got to do it.
I can imagine.
So you get to enjoy the fruits of that labor from us. And you're welcome to enjoy the food and the wines here in front of our fireplace, sitting over on the side where you can see outside through the windows, looking out at the beautiful paseos in the El Paseo, the beautiful orange trees. We also have a VIP wine club room. So if you have a group of 10 or 12 people, we can make accommodations to have them have a nice little private tasting area, which is nice on days if you have family or friends in town and it's going to be a little busy, you can reserve that if you're in our wine club.
Well, good. Well, tell us about the wine club. You mentioned that.
Sure. So our wine club is really special. It's not a large wine club. We don't make that much wine. Some of these wines that you're going to be tasting here and at the winery, we only make maybe 100 cases of, and that's the most important aspect of being part of our wine club, is that some of these wines won't even be available to the public. They will only be available to our wine club because they're so limited in production. And then we do a couple different shipments. We do 4 shipments a year, and there are various levels that you can join. And it's a nice way. It also opens up opportunities to come and visit on occasion at the winery.
How do they contact you?
Best way to contact us is definitely through the, you can see our website, or you can also call us here at the tasting room, which is 805-897-3366.
Good. Well, thank you very much, Katie. This has been very informative and delicious. And there's lots more to talk about, so we're going to come back next week and do part 2 of our episode with Grassini Family Wines.
Wonderful.
Hope you enjoyed it. Join us next week for another episode of Wine Country. Till then, cheers.